ठीक है, तो today we are going to study neurological disorders and psychiatric disorders as per like therapy for them. So these are the disorders that are in your syllabus: migraine, tension headache, epilepsy. In psychiatric disorders, they will give neurosis, anxiety, phobias, and depression. But you should have slight idea of other disorders as well, because they at times tend to go off syllabus. तो थोड़ा एक broad idea we should have. ठीक है? So this question has come in exam. You should know the difference between neurological disorders and psychiatric disorders. Neurological disorders means when there is some issue with the physical system of your neurons or your nervous system. Physical abnormality होती है वहां पे. Psychiatric means when there is disorder of mood, behavior, maybe due to genes, maybe due to hormones, maybe due to neurotransmitters, but they can have a slight biological base, but not biological base is not triggering it. The main thing is like maybe because of your mood or behavior or thought, there has been some neuroplasticity in your system, और उससे वो changes आ गए हैं with time. But main reason is that there is not major physical abnormality in your system. So remember this, neurological मतलब physical abnormality पहले आया. First physical abnormality has appeared in your system. Now what is, like for example, now we can say that Alzheimer's, Parkinson disease, they also have some psychiatric symptoms. We know that Parkinson people, they tend to feel depressed and at times feel very rigid, and they are anxious also. They tend to get even panic attacks also. But at that time we should remember, but though they get certain psychiatric symptoms, their basic cause is neurological. Some disorder has happened, some dopamine, some area in your brain is impaired. So that is the reason this has come into place at first place. This has happened. So these are they can have psychiatric symptoms. Similarly, there are psychiatric disorders like schizophrenia, where what will happen? There are some, after some time, a person gets schizophrenia, there will be some observable changes in their MRI, in their brain structure as well. उनके ब्रेन के कुछ स्ट्रक्चर्स में डिस्ट्रप्शन हो जाता है. So it is a thin line. It's not a major big line which scientists are trying to understand, this thin line between your neurological disorders and psychiatric disorders. But on the face of it, it's neurological means physical abnormality, psychological means mood, behavior, thought kind of issues. Now there are some neuropsychiatric disorders also, which we cannot tell upfront whether they are neurological or they are psychiatric. They are kind of both, like ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. This happens in your kids, they crave for attention and naturally they are hyperactive. They don't sit at a place. Similarly, autistic people, they have autistic kids, they have issue with communication. Though they are very intelligent, they are not dumb. They are very intelligent, but they feel issues with expressing themselves. So it can affect both mental and neurological function. Your psychiatric disorders, you can say they are mental disorders, and neurological disorders, you can say which actually impairs your brain. So इतना याद रखना, ये एग्जाम में आया था. They can give you what is a neurological disorder and what is a psychiatric disorder. Now this is also very important. What is neurosis and what is psychosis? So how you can remember, how I had remembered it. This neurosis has ro matlab in Hindi is na rona. ठीक है? People who can connect to the reality, they only know when to cry and when not to cry. This is how I have remembered. It doesn't have any basis, but ऐसे याद रखा था. रो जिसमें है वो connected है अभी world के साथ. So those are people who have depression, who have bipolar, who have maybe anxiety, but this is not a major issue. They know what is happening around them, but they are not able to handle it maybe, and it's a mild condition which can be corrected. With medication, with therapies, it can be corrected. So this is the physical and mental disturbance it doesn't totally affect their personality. Okay, they will not have hallucination. उनको कोई लोग दिखाई नहीं देंगे, delusion नहीं होंगी, कुछ आवाजें नहीं सुनाई देगी. उनको पता है रियल क्या है, अनरियल क्या है, बट वो कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहे हैं उसको. कुछ उनको सेल्फ एस्टीम लो हो गया है. Maybe they are not feeling motivated. They are going through some crisis in their life. Maybe some financial crisis. Maybe some health crisis. Maybe climate is impacting them. It also generally neurosis also runs in families, but it gets triggered after something has happened in their childhood, or some trauma has happened. So PTSD is also a neurotic condition. तो ये याद रखना. व्हाट इज न्यूरोसिस. साइकोसिस मतलब साइको हो गए हैं वो, उनको रियलिटी के साथ चेक ही नहीं है. ठीक है. साइकोसिस इज अ सीवियर कंडीशन वेयर व्हाट हैपेंस that they don't know what is real and what is not real. They think people are going to harm them. उनको लगता है ये भी मुझे मार रहा है, वो मुझे जहर दे रहा है, ये मुझे ऐसा कर रहा है. They think in that direction. They think people are not thinking good of them. They lose complete touch with the reality. They stop working at they even in certain cases of severe depression that can happen in neurosis also, they stop working. वो काम करना छोड़ देते हैं, घर पे बंदे रहते हैं. They don't take care of their hygiene properly. They are not interested in their physical well-being. उनको कुछ पता नहीं लगता मेरे बच्चे का साथ अच्छा हो रहा है नहीं अच्छा हो रहा है. They are not fully aware of the situation, and it's not their fault. It happens naturally to them. So it is genetic also. And this psychosis, most of the, like one disease that actually covers it all is schizophrenia. तो schizophrenia में उनको paranoid disorder होता है, delusional हो जाते हैं, and environment के साथ they start thinking that environment is not safe for them. Lot of issues are there. Now, can anyone tell me what is OCD? ऑब्सेसिव हो जाते हैं ना कुछ लोग कि मुझे सफाई करनी है, आई हैव टू क्लीन एवरीथिंग. व्हाट इज ओसीडी? न्यूरोटिक डिसऑर्डर और साइकोटिक? व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
Psychotic होगा.
It is neurotic, huh? Because they do not lose touch with reality. They know what is right, what is wrong, they know, but they are just obsessed with this fact that they have to clean everything, they have to take care of their health. Though in OCD also people think that something will harm them, but that has some basis to it. They think that some infection can have greater impact on them. Though the infection wala logic is correct, logic is not gone there. We should be clean. That logic is there, or the basis of the logic is there, but they are overdoing it. But yahi difference hai. But the base is clear. They are clear with the reality. They know dog bite is harmful for everyone. So, but they will take extra care that dog should not even touch them, so that if they get a dog bite, they will have to take 14 injections and everything. They think about future a lot, and they try to take care of everything. Okay, so ये याद रखना, OCD is neurotic disorder, not psychotic. Psychotic is only that disorder where you have hallucination, जहाँ आवाजें सुनाई देती है, दिखाई देता है, या जहाँ you lose. The main point is you lose contact with reality. You don't know what is real and what is not real. Okay. A person gets this psychotic disorder mostly in their early adulthood, or after having a lot of drugs, or having a family history, or after having an accident, they can get the psychotic disorder. Now, what is difference between anxiety and anxiety disorder? Anxiety is like, no, everybody can feel anxiety. So don't think whenever you get small anxiety about certain things or stress on certain things, don't feel that we have anxiety disorder. Why? Because it's simple reaction to a particular difficult kind of situation which you're not able to handle well. And it has a starting point. Once that issue gets sorted out, it gets vanished from your head, and you feel again same kind of thing for life or for people which you were feeling earlier. So you're not trapped into it. And it has a basis to it when you have a particular situation at that time. But in case of anxiety disorder, what happens? Even a very, very small trigger can be a big thing for them. Okay. If it rains, maybe somebody is not liking rain, so if it rains, that can also give them anxiety disorder. If they see a small insect, that can also give them a panic attack. So disorder means when you don't have control over the situation, when it comes from nowhere, when it lasts for weeks and months, it interferes in their day-to-day activity, when and they feel a lot of trembling, sweating, lightheadedness, and they will leave food. At times they will eat extra. They will feel impossible to manage and control it. And they have periods of long crying, whole night they will be crying without any reason, or they will not be talking to anyone for a long time of period. They will be feeling a lot of fear in their heads. So that is a disorder. Then a medical help or a counseling, that and at the time counseling is must. And even yoga works very good for this anxiety depression. Yoga is actually, it helps. It can, within 3 or 4 months, they can actually feel 50-60% they can feel better. Now, what are types of anxiety? Generalized anxiety disorder is when you feel excessive worry and tension for without any reason. कुछ भी हो जाए उनको worry होता है. कुछ भी छोटी भी बात हो जाए, even if water is not coming in tap, they will feel anxiety. If somebody has left for office, they'll feel anxiety that maybe something will happen to them. So they have excessive worry or tension without any major reason. Panic disorder is a type of anxiety disorder, but in this, what happens? Suddenly, the thing, all the trembling, heart racing, and BP will shoot up. It will happen for a very small time. ये छोटे टाइम के लिए होता है, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा सीवियर होता है. Person feels breathless, feels like he can't do he or she cannot do anything, and they feel collapsed. And because of this panic disorder, whenever it comes to some person, they feel next time it should not come again to them, and because of this fear they stop going even out. And this panic disorder many times gives them social anxiety disorder as well, because they think whenever we will go somewhere in a party or somewhere, there we'll meet people, might be will get panic attack and will feel ashamed. So this panic attack makes them further to go in the loop of anxiety. Then there can be phobia, means dar. Okay, phobia means fear of something. So if specific phobia is there, that means on seeing a particular situation or a particular object only, they will get this anxiety. Otherwise, they are fine with other things. Then separation anxiety means it mostly happens in kids, small kids. If we leave them in hostel, or if we leave them at daycare or somewhere, it's not that everyone will feel it, but few kids who are very vulnerable, they might feel they don't want their close person to leave them. So it can happen that because of those childhood separation episodes, in future also, whenever somebody close to them asks them that we'll move on or we'll leave you for certain period of time, or maybe for life, they start getting panic attacks because of that, because this is embedded in their head that the person they are close to should be with them all the time. So those people are generally possessive type of people. Then this is agoraphobia. Agoraphobia means fear of being in place, hard to escape. Like if you are on stage, you cannot leave then. So some people who have that kind of fear, so they feel that now we cannot leave this place, and they will not even go on the stage. So if they feel that they cannot come out of a particular situation, maybe somebody has to go to a marriage, and then they feel that then they cannot come back suddenly, then they will not even go to that place. Okay. And social anxiety is generally fear of that they are very self-conscious that something would happen to them, people will know them, people will observe them. They are worried about people more. Now this is like specific phobias which can happen. There are different phobias like hydrophobia. Astrophobia is lightning का डर उनको लगता है, पेड़ों से डर लगता है, dendrophobia. Then छिपकली से डर लगता है. Then there is cynophobia. This is animals का, dogs का डर, and there is even horses का डर. There are n number of them. So these are like some major ones which can come in exam. Like they have even blood का डर, hemophobia. Aeroplane phobia, it is like real people, even big executives I have seen, they fear of going in a plane, and because of that they're not leaving their place, they are doing work from home. Like I know one guy who is very intelligent guy from one of the top management institutes, but he's not taking a promotion because of the aerophobia. This happens, this is real. Claustrophobia is lifts, छोटी जगहों पे डर लगना. Glossophobia is that you can't face general public, you can't, your fear of public speaking is there. तो ऐसे ही बहुत सारे phobias are there. They are known as specific phobias. Specific है, nature से भी हो सकता है, animal से भी हो सकता है, medical treatment से भी हो सकता है, situation से भी हो सकता है. And there is social anxiety disorder, which we had discussed, that it's also known as social phobia. Social phobia is also known as social anxiety disorder. This you have to remember. And there is one more, spiders ka. Arachnophobia and acrophobia is fear of heights. So ये भी याद रखना आप, ये आ सकता है. Now, what is difference between symptoms of anxiety and depression? Depression is like you have low energy, you're feeling like person doesn't feel to do anything, he has suicidal thoughts, he will be irritated, he's not interested in sleeping, he's sleeping no he's interested, he sleeps day and night, but sleep patterns will change. Maybe he'll sleep in day and he'll be awake whole night. There will be changes in their eating behavior, they will leave hobbies and all, concentration and everything is difficult. And then this anxiety, that means everything is like they are on the edge, they are feeling restless, there is high palpitation, worry hai future ka, they are not living in present, they are either thinking about past or thinking about future. And there will be, because of that there will be sleep issues, because of that there will be fatigue, concentration nahi hoga, tension headaches bahut zyada hongi, there can be even migraine to such people, they can have constipation, both depression and anxiety, both they can have constipation. And there are like a lot of thoughts, lot of dreams also. Even this anxiety people, they will have lot of dreams, their brain chemistry will change, they don't like certain kind of environment, they don't want to face stress, they don't want to face major challenges in their life, they just avoid, the escapist kind of behavior hota hai isme. So in both of these things, anxiety and depression, there is many times there is an overlap. People tend to, who are like going for anxiety treatment from long time, they tend to have phases of depression and anxiety both. Okay, so that is why I have put this is like what is good for both. So dynamic practices, inversions, back bends, forward bends, twists, nadi shuddhi, brastika, all the kriyas, especially neti, chanting, cyclic meditation, it's good for both. Now there is a point to remember that depression में don't let them do long holding, क्योंकि जो ही उनको आप long holding कराओगे, they will get bored, they want to come out of it and they might go into their thought loop. तो उनका loop चालू हो जाएगा, तो कोई भी practice उनको बहुत ज्यादा देर उनको होल्ड नहीं कराना है. दे आर गुड विद डायनेमिक प्रैक्टिसेस, ज्यादा उनको करानी है जिसमें वो इन्वॉल्व रहे, जिसमें कंटिन्यूसली यू आर टॉकिंग टू देम, जिसमें कंटिन्यूसली इनपुट आउटपुट चलता रहे. Second is for depression, meditation, the kind of meditation where you go into deep dhyana, close your eyes, is a simple no. Okay, no dhyana, no deep dhyana for depression people. Now, should they not do meditation? They can do chanting, they can do cyclic meditation kind of thing, जहाँ हाथ पैर थोड़ा हिलाना पड़ता है, and they can keep their eyes open initially. ठीक है? So if they are not comfortable closing their eyes, you can ask them to keep their eyes open. You can ask them again and again whether they are comfortable closing their eyes, even to the people of anxiety, because at certain times they feel something bad is going to happen to them. They're not comfortable in the environment. They can get a panic attack. So it's better to ask them, if they are comfortable, then only ask them to close their eyes. This is what you have to remember here. Now there is a type of strokes in the brain. Okay, I thought I'll put this also because you might get confused in exam. This can come reticular activating system आ सकता है, उसको भी हम RAS बोलते हैं, but it is a single A RAS. In your nephron, what is it? RAAS RAS है, so don't get confused. in your brain, the reticular activating system is RAS, not RAAS. ठीक है. This is present at the brain stem. आपका hind brain में होता है ये, because hind brain only is responsible for your life wakefulness, your life processes वाला thing. So it is a switch kind of, is a nucleus, which is a switch kind of thing, which will switch you on to sleep and wakefulness cycles. Consciousness and unconsciousness के बीच का जो switch होता है, that switch is known as RAS. That is reticular activating system. So when a person goes to coma, that is a state of complete unconsciousness. Person responsive ही नहीं रहता है towards whatever you do to him, and he doesn't experience the environment around him. तो उस कंडीशन में क्या होता है कि उनका रास में इफेक्ट हुआ होता है. That is a dysfunction. Your coma is a dysfunction of reticular activating system, or it can be a dysfunction of both your cerebral hemispheres. ठीक है, दोनों साइड से इशू हो गया है ब्रेन में. ब्रेन के वो एरियाज ही जो कॉन्शियसनेस हमें देते हैं, इन योर हाइपोथैलेमस एंड ऑल, दे हैव गॉट इम्पैक्टेड. That can be one reason. Second reason is if directly RAS has got impacted, then unless and until that switch gets on, they will not feel consciousness. They will not feel sensory information or stimulus in them. This is one thing. Second thing is your strokes. So mostly due to strokes, the person tends to go to coma. So why? Because in stroke, it can be two kind of things. We had read ischemic, जब हार्ट डिजीज पढ़ा था, उसमें हमने पढ़ा था that there are clots. Clots हो जाते हैं. Clots कैसे होते हैं? फैट होता है, फैट उसके बाद कैल्सिफाइड हो जाता है, कैल्सिफाइड होने के बाद उसमें प्रेशर आता है, प्रेशर आने के बाद देयर इज यहाँ पे ब्रेकेज होता है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ ब्रेकेज platelets get deposited and blood flow gets impaired to the particular cells. जैसे हार्ट में होता है, सेम वैसी ही चीज ब्रेन में भी होती है, बिकॉज अगेन इन ब्रेन ऑल्सो इट नीड्स ब्लड सप्लाई, कंटिन्यूअस ब्लड सप्लाई इट नीड्स. So if blood supply is not going to particular region, then that particular region will die down. Or else what can happen, there can be extra blood का pressure इतना ज्यादा हो जाता है कि blood vessel जो है rupture हो जाता है. There is rupture in the blood vessel. Blood will leak and it will spread in the particular area. There will be extra blood over this particular area that can also cause stroke. तो उसको बोलते हैं हेमरेजिक स्ट्रोक. और ट्रांजिएंट इस्चेमिक स्ट्रोक होता है, दैट इज टेम्पररी. इट happens for few minutes or not in a particular important area, and you get one person after a certain time that there is some way to blood, that blood can flow and a person gets okay. Only the damage to particular region, if it has happened, only that will happen, and it can get rectified with time with medicine. तो वो कुछ दवाई दे देते हैं जिससे वो क्लॉट जो है वो डिसॉल्व हो जाता है. दिस क्लॉट गेट्स डिसॉल्व विद सर्टेन मेडिसिन और बाय ऑपरेशन और समथिंग. Like in transient, it's just medicine. In ischemic, there have to be some surgery. There can be some surgery or something. This is most dangerous, huh? ये दोनों dangerous है. This is most dangerous, and this is like, oh, at least there is some way out. Another thing which is in your syllabus, it's important, is headaches. So there are various headaches. One is migraine. Second is tension headache. Third is sinus headache. Or fourth is cluster headaches. These are like major type of headaches. Migraine is what happens. Psychogenic headache है, dilation होता है. Dilation of the blood vessels happen in your cranial area. तो जब डायलेशन मतलब एक्स्ट्रा ब्लड सप्लाई हो जाता है, ब्लड जो वेसल्स है वो डायलेट हो जाती हैं, वो लूजन हो जाती है, वो खुली हो जाती है, एक्स्ट्रा ब्लड आता है वहां. एंड योर एएनएस, कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाट इज एएनएस? नर्वस सिस्टम में एएनएस क्या है?
ऑटोनोमस
नर्वस सिस्टम. हाँ, और उसमें कौन से दो पार्ट्स होते हैं एएनएस में?
पैरासिम्पैथेटिक
and parasympathetic. हाँ, उसका डिसऑर्डर है ये. Sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system gets impaired, ANS gets disrupted, and it's mostly common in women. There are some triggers, either food or stress or something, or extra light or extra sound, then that triggers this headache. It can be with or without aura. Aura means before getting the attack of migraine, आपको light के white spots जैसे दिखाई देते हैं आंखों के सामने. You don't like any light to be seen. You don't like any sound to be seen. And before that, even if you close your eyes, you can see some white lights or some white light flakes moving in front of your closed eyes or open eyes. So उसको aura बोलते हैं. But everybody with migraine will not have aura. This few people will have it, few people will not have it. It usually happens on one side, but in certain people, it happens on both sides. It happens in mid-age women. More, it happens in mid-age women compared to men. And the duration is 4 hours to 72 hours. It can be mild, moderate, and severe. Then tension headache, it's like a band. पूरे सर पे एक band की तरह दर्द होता है, not only one side. So, and also in this tension headache, your neck will go into spasm. Even your upper back, shoulders, you can feel pain there as well. It is mostly related to muscle spasm, posture, emotions, and sympathetic nervous system is activated here. Only sympathetic, because your tension and emotional issues trigger it most of the time. ठीक है, तो ये याद रखिएगा tension headache के reasons. Then there is sinus headache. That means your sinus spaces, they are inflamed or blocked. Because of the blocked nose or sinus spaces, there can be headache across यहाँ सर के दोनों side से and under your eyes. So it can be face, forehead, and between your eyes. It can remain there unless and until your sinus or the underlying issue is sorted. इन दोनों को जो cluster headache और sinus headache है, which is because of some other reason, they are also known as referred headache. In cluster headache, you can see it just around your eye. So if the pressure of your eye is high, can anyone tell me pressure अगर high हो जाता है eye का, उस disease को क्या बोलते हैं? Glaucoma, and it happens in diabetes. उनको याद रखिएगा, ये पक्का ये एग्जाम के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. ग्लोकोमा मीन्स जब आपकी आईज में जो आपका ह्यूमर होता है, एक्वस ह्यूमर, इट डजंट हैव अ पैसेज टू पास, so extra that fluid gets collected in your eyes, and that can increase pressure of your eye. Once the pressure increases, there can be glaucoma, and after glaucoma, the damage that happens to retina and all is permanent, और उससे blindness भी हो सकती है. So it needs to be treated as soon as possible. Though it's irreversible, but it can be stopped. और जब ट्रीटमेंट लेते हैं तो जहां तक डैमेज हुआ होता है वहीं पे डैमेज स्टॉप हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो उसको भी हम रेफर्ड हेडेक बोलेंगे, बिकॉज दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन रीजन. अगर बीपी की वजह से हेडेक हुआ, दैट इज ऑल्सो रेफर्ड हेडेक, बिकॉज दैट हैज अ रीजन टू इट. So there is referred headache in short, and that can have various reasons like your sinus, like your cluster headache, like your glaucoma, BP headache. Tension headache is because of emotion, posture, and muscle spasm. Migraine is because of dilation and because of certain triggers, and it runs in families. It has a basis. People are exploring that why it happens to certain individuals, why it even hormonal imbalance causes migraine. Now the treatment of पहले वो देखेंगे. Yogic management of headache is like a person should, whenever he or she feels that there is a migraine attack going to come, or even the normal headache, Kunjal Kriya is one of the best Kriya. Even if they had food, they should do Vagra Kriya. That means खाने के बाद भी उल्टी कर सकते हैं वो. That is Vagra Kriya. Kunjal means empty stomach. So Kunjal is very, very effective in treating headaches and migraine. Neti is also very good, because your sinus and everything will get cleaned, and it will give you extra vitality, and it will clean up the spaces. The pranic blockages will get cleaned there. So these are very good practices. As per S. Vyasa, Shashank Asana and certain practices, your head rolling and all in Shashank Asana are very good. But as per Bihar school, they have not given Shashank Asana or any lying down practices. So make a note of it. Bihar school के हिसाब से Shashank Asana they have not given. They have only given Pavan Muktasana 1, Bandh Hast Uttan Asana, and Surya Namaskar. Only that they have given for headache. And they have given yogic breathing with Ujjayi. Brahmari is very good. This even Asvyasa agrees to Ujjayi, Brahmari, Nadi Shuddhi, and gentle Kapalbhati. That is good for your headache. And Shatkarma, as I have already explained, even LSP is very good because constipation can also be a trigger to your headache. Yog Nidra is definitely very nice for it, and they should tend to have simple meals. They should avoid cheese, chocolate, and red wine. Make a note of it. Migraines get triggered with cheese, chocolate, and red wine. Okay. And fasting is very good. They should skip if they're feeling that the headache is going to come. If the headache has a acidity ka issue, a person has acidity ka issue and then he's feeling headache, at that time they are not advised to skip a meal. Okay. Generally, they are talking about general headaches and migraines. So for migraines, they feel a vomiting kind of sensation. If that kind of sensation is there, they should do Kunjal Kriya or do Vakra Kriya, skip a meal for some time, relax in Shavasana and Yog Nidra for 10-20 minutes. Their attacks may subside a lot. Then हम देखेंगे epilepsy. Epilepsy को we say seizure also. Seizure हम बोलते हैं उसको. Epilepsy जो क्या है उसमें हो जाता है your brain has abnormal electrical activity. Brain का electrical activity बहुत बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है. Mainly it has two parts, two types. One is focal seizure and another is generalized seizure. फोकल मतलब एक ही पर्टिकुलर पार्ट इन्वॉल्व होता है. एक पर्टिकुलर पार्ट जब इन्वॉल्व होता है तो उसी पार्ट की जो रेस्पेक्टिव में इश्यूज होते हैं वो उसी से रिलेटेड होते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल पर्सन विद फोकल सीजर दे कैन हैव इम्पेयर्ड अवेयरनेस मतलब थोड़ा सा ही अवेयरनेस खराब हो गया. They will stare blankly, ऐसे एकदम आंखें टिकल टुकुर करके देखते रहेंगे. They'll start rubbing their hands or legs, or they'll feel that there will be emotional changes. They can cry, they can start moving here and there. That can happen in focal seizure. And that can also happen that there is without loss of awareness. Here, person remains conscious. Just there is some smells or taste or some activities go off, and they can also start jerking some body part, maybe hand, leg, or complete body, but it may mostly whichever part has got impaired in the focal seizure, that part only will get impaired. So whatever particular area, suppose some particular area is pointing towards is connected towards right arm. In that case, if the focal seizure has got into that particular part, only right arm will start jerking a lot, or maybe experiencing something in your right their right hand. That can happen. But in case of your generalized seizure, it happens on both sides of the brain at the same time. It can be of blow types. Absent seizure means brief episode. Very, very brief episode. Person will think something has happened to them. They are into a blank space and suddenly they will come back. Tonic seizure means muscles will get super stiff, mostly in their legs and arms and trunk, the major muscles of your body. They will get stiff and they will feel that something has like gone off. They are like paralyzed kind. They feel paralyzed. They feel stuck. Then atonic means they will lose muscle control, but it will it is suddenly this will happen. Like suppose they have something in their hand, a glass is there in the hand, suddenly they will lose control, their muscles will become so weak, गिर जाएगा वो glass नीचे गिर जाएगा, they will not have control over that. That myoclonic seizure means that there will be quick but light jerks. And clonic seizure means there will be rhythmic shaking. पूरी बॉडी की rhythmic shaking होगी, because now this is a type of generalized seizure, not type of focal seizure. Focal seizure में maybe a body part is only jerking. Here the complete body may be doing rhythm. जैसे हमने देखा है pictures में ना, we have seen in movies, they show how scissors come to a particular person. That kind of thing they are saying is happening in clonic seizure. Then unknown onset epilepsy is when a person, doctor is sure by seeing the reports and post MRIs that a person has got epilepsy attack, but they don't know the reason. And combined epilepsy is when they will have both some symptoms of focal and some symptoms among the generalized scissor ka symptoms. So for this, they have not given in Bihar school, they have not given a particular yogic management. I will share with you tomorrow based on S Vyasa, whatever S Vyasa has given, I'll share that with you.